Good morning, students. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling great? It's nice to hear that you're feeling this morning. Before we start our lesson for today, let us pray. May I call Miss to lead the prayer. Before you sit down, please arrange your chairs properly and pick up the pieces of trusses under your chairs. Thank you so much. I'm going to check our attendance for today. And once I call their name, please say present if you are in on it. Looks like we have a perfect attendance this morning. Let's recap first on what we had discussed last meeting. Do you still remember what we had discussed last meeting? Last meeting we had discussed mythology. Can you give me what mythology? Very good. Anything else that you want to ask about mythology? Alright, it is clear to you. Let's move on to our next discussion. And today's lesson in teaching and assessment of literature studies. Our topic for today, a sonnet. The objective of our lesson for today are at the end of the discussion. The students are able to describe characteristics of sonnet and analyze the structure of sonnet, explain the historical background of sonnet. And after that, you are going to write your own sonnet before we further to our discussion. Let's have first a preparatory activity. Are you ready? Can you guess these famous writers and poets? That's correct. These are the famous writer and poets of the sonnet. This is John Donne. This is Edwin Spenser, William Shakespeare, and last he is Giacomo D'Alentina. Good job, everyone. So, alright, can you mention the piece of work of William Shakespeare? Alright, this is correct. The famous work of William Shakespeare is Romeo and Juliet. Very good, student. I can see that you have read one of William Shakespeare's piece of work. And today's lesson, this is the chance to add this topic to your vocabulary and to learn something about the aspect of English literature. Are you familiar with sonnet? Maybe some of you are not familiar of the sonnet because of its complex structure, but in today's lesson we are going to talk about different structures and characteristics of sonnet. When we say sonnet, it is poem generally, structure and characteristics of the sonnet. When we say sonnet, it is a poem generally structure of 14 lines, usually iambic pentameter. When we say iambic pentameter, it expresses a thought or idea and utilizes an established rhyme scheme and the what rhyme scheme. When we say rhyme scheme, it is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of the poem. Let's go back to iambic pentameter. When we say the iamb in iambic pentameter, it is a rhythmic unit called the foot, consisting one unstressed syllables and one stressed syllables. And when we say pentameter, it means the iamb is repeat 5 times to get the rhythm of iambic pentameter. All you to do is to clap your hands, the dam, the dam, the dam, the dam, 5 times. Let's move on into the history of sonnet. The form seems to have originated in the 13th century among the Silicon school of court poets, who were influenced by the love poetry of the provincial troubadours. From there, it was spread to Tuscany, where it reached its highest expression. In 14th century, in the poems of Petrarch, and in the 16th century, the sonnet was introduced in England along with Italian verse by Sir Thomas White and Henry Howard and Earl of Surrey. The new forms precipitated the great Elizabeth flowering of lyrics poetry. And the period marks the peak of sonnet English popularity. Let's move on to the characteristics of sonnet. All sonnets have the following features in common. They are 14 lines long, have a regular rhyme scheme, and are strict metrical construction, usually iambic pentameter. Iambic pentameter has 10 syllables and 5 pairs at the each pair has stress on the second syllables. Let's talk about the Shakespearean sonnet, which is named after William Shakespeare. Shakespeareans on it have this following rhyme scheme: AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, and GG. It is divided into three quadrants or four lines to guide you in creating your perfect sonnet. Use the sonnet 18 as a guide which begins with I compare to Summer's Day, and to avoid confusion you can use your paper and pen to draw a straight line and divide into 5 segments and repeat 14 times of the 14 lines of the sonnet. At the end of the last words of each stanzas, you can write the pattern of each rhyme scheme. For example, the Shakespeare pattern AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, and GG. And the same as the Shakespearean sonnet, which came after Edmund Spenser. Like Shakespearean sonnet, it is divided into three quadrants and couplet, but the rhyme scheme is different. It is A B A B, BC BC, CD CD, and lastly, the Petrarchian sonnet, which named after Francisco Petrarcas, but Russian on its have two quadrants and two sets, which are three stanzas. The rhyme scheme is usually different: ABBA, CDE, CDE. The four lines is together is a sonnet are called quadrants. The ending two lines are called rhyming couplets. In your paper, write again. An ion with 5 segments, and write one is unstressed and one stressed syllables in each segment until you have 10 syllables and iambic pentameter, and there you have your son of first line. And if your those don't fit to the scheme, use the thesaurus to find rhyming synonyms. Do you have any question? If you have no question, can someone give me the summarization of our topic for today? Very good, very good. I can see that you've listened to our discussion for today. And for that, get one half sheet of paper and answer this question. Or your assignment, construct your own sonnet with Shakespearean dreams scheme. Is that clear or right? If it's clear to you, thank you so much, guys, for listening to our topic for today. And for that, let's give ourselves a lot of applause. Thank you so much, guys, and goodbye.